What's up, everybody? Welcome to Long Story Short. This is not Hot Book Alert Live. This is Long Story Short. We're on Nearing Nerdvana. Are we short-handed today? What's going on?
I think it may be you and me. We'll see if Joe hops on. Aaron is at C2E2, so he is out. So Carter is running the program. It's in his capable hands. And you can just pretend this is Hot Book Alert Live if you want. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We appreciate it.
Hey, everybody. We're just two cool guys hanging out on the internet, just kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Talking comics, this, that, and the third. We're okay. We got all the greetings in. Yeah. Hot Book Alert 2.0. Yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah, so we have a jam-packed show for you tonight, regardless of who's joining and who ain't. And
It's not the first time Carter and I have done a show, just the two of us. So you guys are in good hands, and buckle up, and we'll see where we take you on this one.
What Tony tell him? It's just me and you. All right. Okay, so I thought I could have swore there was like some ads at the beginning.
Oh, I don't know if Aaron pulls something up, but he gives a shout out to Cover Price as a sponsor. If you guys aren't using Cover Price, you should be. It's a great resource. And they're all comic book guys who run that. So I use it for a lot of the info on this show. I check it multiple times a day. Just a great website. And then Bird City Comics, Ann and Laura, they drop some cool exclusives. They've got their own store now that I haven't been to, but I'd like to go check out at some point. So support Bird City. All good people. Funhouse Comics, thank you very much for the super chat. Completely not necessary, but greatly appreciated. So much thanks.
This face is a money.
All right, so listen, normal rules apply. Just be smart about your comic book purchases. We're going to talk about some cool books tonight, but don't go doing dumb things. But first book we're going to talk about is a book that we brought up. It was Carter's suggestion. You remember if this was like late in the Flipside days where we first talked about this, or was it on this show early days?
Okay, so I'm pretty sure I talked about this book years ago, like when I was doing the comic book hauls.
Yeah, the hauls for sure.
Yeah, this book here. So this is Cage 2, 1 in 25 Bruce Timm variant.
Yeah, we had it on. I can't remember. I think it might have been on the Go show back on the Flipside days, when we started like regularly riffing on this book. But we talked about this recently when we did the Bruce Timm show with Josh. I'm only bringing this up because I just saw a sale today, and I was like, God damn it, we got to talk about this. This thing sold for $1,100 in 9.8 today, which ain't no joke. The prior high sale was, if I'm not mistaken, $600. This is an amazing book. I'm so happy. I found this last summer at Fan Expo in Boston for $40. And I'm really happy I did, because that show pissed me off on many different levels. But leaving with this thing made it all worth it. Still only 20 of these on the census with 13 and 9.8. But $1,100. That's a legit sale. I mean, that sale put this thing in the upper echelon of modern variants.
It's in mythic level now.
Yeah, big time.
It's there. It's A-list. It's A-list. Okay, so I talked about this book. Well, this book came to my attention after I think it was Cage number 4. So that was the Art Adams variant.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
The same series. There was like a series. There was like variants from this series. They all were unique. They all kind of had their own little flair. But this was definitely this Bruce Timm, definitely the standout, and the Art Adams. And like after I found the Art Adams, um, my attention came to this, and I'm just like, holy crap. You know what I'm saying? Like my jaw
Yeah.
when when this came to my attention, and I just immediately fell in love, was on like this quest to try to find it. I'll be honest with you, I don't remember how I got this. I don't remember what I paid for it. I don't know if I got it online. I don't know. Like I don't remember.
Is yours graded or is it raw?
No, it's raw. It's raw.
Yeah.
It's really
Mine,
not. It's probably it could be a 9.8, but I don't know why. It just feels like you got to be special to get a 9.8. Like personally, not even the book. You just like you have to have some sort of aura that radiates your book. Mate. That's what it
yeah.
feels like.
Yeah, I mean, this thing captures that, that 70s vibe perfectly. He killed it on this book. But yeah, $1,100. That is, this is not a market report show, but I could not talk about this one tonight. Yeah, Lager. There is a foreign of this too. There's a Mexican version, and I don't know if there's another one, but when they're doing foreigns of it, it's a legit book. So
Okay, so the wrap on a lot of books, um, it's if there's foreigns, then it diminishes the value of the original. What do you say about that?
I don't know, because I think it's two different markets. Listen, I think when you see those foreigns, a lot of people who just aren't going to drop, the big money on these, go
Hmm.
grab those just so they can have it, because it's really it's a different access point. I think I know people disagree, but I think when they start doing those, it just kind of like raises the bar, if you will, on the OGs to something like super special, saying, listen, if they're doing forums of these, like this is a special book. I don't think it necessarily hurts it, because I think the people buying those probably weren't in the market for it to begin with. But
Ah, okay. And was this ever on the trade paperback? This
I don't
particular art? I can't remember.
it's a great question. I don't think so, but I wouldn't, I wouldn't pound the table on that.
Like this is the type of art you could probably see on a poster, on a t-shirt, on some promo art, you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is masterfully done. I mean, this is, Tim's got some great books, but this has got to be up there for him, for me.
Ah.
Yeah, chef's kiss.
Mhm. Beautiful
Oh,
stuff.
all right. Let's get on with the show.
All right. Bye-bye, Bruce Timm art.
Bye-bye, Bruce. All right. Uh we can't go with one of these shows without talking about Matt Baker. This is a very ghostly Matt Baker, Giant Comics edition number 15. St. John's Publishing, 1950. The last sale of this was a 4.5 for $2,000 back in 2020. Only 21 on the census with a high grade of 6.5. That tells you something.
Uh I had this book.
You had this.
I had this. So, um last hurrah of the honey hole from a couple years ago. This store was closing, and this book, I think the price tag on it was like 1,200, and everything was being slashed to half.
Ooh, wow.
And I think I paid but I think I even paid 500 for this.
And what would
And
you have estimated the grade was on it if you had
oh,
to?
got it graded.
You got it graded.
Yeah, and it came back at a 3.5.
Okay.
Came back at a 3.5 and had it for a minute and then let it go.
You remember what you got for it?
Yes. And
more than what you paid for it, I hope.
It was more than that 4.5 sale.
Wow. Wow. Good
Yeah.
score. Wow.
But yeah, great looking book. And you know what the funny thing was? That book had been sitting on the shelves at this store for months. For
Wow.
like for those months that the store was going out of business, it was just there. Like nobody had gave it like a second look.
I mean, this is this is a tougher Baker to get hands on. So I guess if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But wow, that's an amazing story.
Yeah, he was Mike is asking, was it Geeks Gambit? This is the store that Mike and I went to, and yeah, that's it. Good memories,
Nice.
very good memories. You know, as much as I bought there, I probably should have bought a hell of a whole lot more. Like I literally bought after it was all said and done, bought long boxes. Like I was there every I want to say every other day. Like my routine just basically consisted of going there in the morning and like when they closed, I was just like, damn, what do I do now? You know what I mean? With my routine, because that was so much part of my routine.
Were they getting in that much inventory? It was worthwhile for you to stop in that often?
Oh God, yeah, because he was going back to the store owner, he was going back to his storage and just bringing back back stock literally every day.
Damn! Wow.
He was blowing everything out.
And he just folded up eventually. He just said that's it and closed the whole thing. Wow.
Yeah, that store now is now a toy store.
All right. Wow. All right.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, you remember seeing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful book. I'm jealous. But all right. What do we got next?
What's next?
All right. So this Secrets of True Love #1, unconfirmed, but this is potentially the last Matt Baker cover.
Huh.
Don't hold me to that, because he was doing a bunch of work for Quality Comics at the end. He died in 59, but this is definitely towards the end of his life. So St. John's Publishing, 1958. A 3.5 sold for $1,920 a couple years ago.
Damn.
Another book, tough to get hands on, only 14 on the census. Obviously 0.98s. And the high grade in this was a 6.0. These romance books were not looked after.
No, they were not. Yeah, these were definitely like little girl. You think little girls would take care of their comics, but no.
No, that was not the case. But yeah, this is a beautiful, classic Matt Baker. It has vibes of what's the girl? He's close up with the dark hair.
Okay, I want to say oh, I know who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about. Rita Hayworth.
Oh, Rita, yeah, the actress. But no, he had another cover with the girl with dark hair. It's one of his biggest books. We've talked about it many times.
Oh, the Cinderella Love.
Cinderella Love, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This has that energy to it a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, anytime where you have the figure like front and center, and the look is just so in your face and so bold.
Yeah.
It always makes me I always have to stop and give it just give it a second look, give it a second check. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got the guys in the background checking her out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and Rita Hayworth was spot on. This has a big Rita Hayworth. But yeah, this please don't anybody call me up. as I look, like this is one of his later covers. Maybe it's his last one. I don't know for a fact, but towards the end. He wasn't doing as much work for St. John's at this point, but this was the code had come into place at this point, obviously.
When you see the comics code on a Matt Baker, does it matter?
It doesn't matter, but it feels weird, I guess is what I would say. It just doesn't feel like it should be there.
Right. I understand that.
All right. Let's keep talking. All right. The only thing I wanted to talk about this book, so this is Clairvoyant #1. A George Moofield cover. Pentagon Publishing, 1945. 9/8 sold for $5,000 in 2021. Jeez. There is a 9/8 of this, which is amazing. But what I want to say is, what is going on in this cover? Is she fantasizing about this guy walking in on her?
Oh, well, she is clairvoyant, so she's having a premonition about some guy coming in on her in her skivvies. And she's
if
just
she
like,
knew he was coming, wouldn't she get dressed?
Well, she doesn't know the date or the time.
Okay.
So it's just like, oh man, how do I prepare for this? Like, she knows it's coming, but how does she prepare for it?
Okay. So she's mulling over the situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a lingerie cover?
You would say so, a double lingerie, basically, right?
Yes. Yes. Damn it. Isn't there another Clairvoyant #1?
There may be. There's a Clairvoyant 2 we're going to talk about in 2 seconds.
Okay.
But this one, I just wanted to point out the price. $5,000 on this, seems low for a book with only 35 in the census. And I just say that because now it's obviously going to come down to artist, but if you go to the #2, which I think is next,
Ooh.
a 9/8 granted.
Ooh,
went
baby.
for 15,600 on this, and Jack came in probably a bit more sought after, but that's a huge jump.
Holy crap! You know what? I can see why.
I want to make sure I didn't. I'm going to check that I didn't screw that up with the 9/8. I'm just give me 1 second.
Okay, so that 5,000. Was it an auction or was it a buy it now? Do you know?
I don't remember. These Clairvoyants, there were 4 of them, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a 9/8 sale. That's right. But I think #3, we've talked about it somewhere on this show on Hot Book Alert. I don't know, where the bride's getting pistol whipped by the groom.
Oh,
you remember that? Do you remember that cover where he smacked her in the face with the butt of the pistol?
Yeah.
I forget what issue #4 was, but yeah, I mean, this one, the colors on this one are great. Obviously the red dress is sought after golden age trope. Yeah, I mean, I guess top of census 9/8, this one's going to command a massive premium, but great looking book.
I freaking love this. This is just, oh wow. Okay, so which one would you rather have? Like, just a mid-grade, as far as mid-grade copies go.
So just put them both at like 4 or 5s. What would you take? I think I'm taking this one only because I do like Jack Kamen quite a bit as an artist, and the colors on this one are a bit more vibrant, which is not to take anything away from the other book. I would happily own the other one as well too.
Okay, so what about this? Say mid-grade or this?
Whew. I'm gonna go with the Baker.
Okay.
Because this thing's a ghost, man. They're like, this thing's a true ghost. What about you?
Ah, man. You know what? If you catch me on the right day, I might say something different.
All right.
But for right now, You know what? You catch me on the right minute, I might say something different. But for right now, I might go with this. I might go with this. Just because it's Baker. Just because it's Baker. See? Yeah, you catch me on the right second.
The right. Yeah, Derek Kamen is really good, and he is overlooked, but also I would put him in the conversation for the top 10 Golden Age artists. I mean, he has some very famous books.
You know what? Jack Kamen reminds me of Brian Bolland, underrated lady drawer.
Yeah. I mean, Bolland is also a legend, though, too. I mean, underrated, but still appreciated in the right circles, you know.
He doesn't get his due for cheesecake art.
Yeah, well, I mean, but he has done one of my, that Tanker Apocalypse 3, I think, is one of the greatest covers ever done. The close up of her head, I mean, that's brilliant. Hey Tony, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man.
Hey now.
I mean, I absolutely love that book. All right, what else do we have in the Golden Age? All right, this will be a fun conversation.
You really just gonna blow the lid off of this one, huh?
Yeah, well, I know
you're gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean,
Crazy Ben's House of Comics. You're just gonna do it. All right.
I just want to take the temperature of the audience. All right.
All right.
Crime Mysteries number 9. Unknown cover artist, which will be important in a minute here. Adolphe Barreau is the publisher, 1953. A 7.0 of this sold for almost $1,100 back in November of 2019. 20 on the census.
Mm-hmm.
High grade 9.2. She capped him, and there's a ghost coming through the window. Very eventful, creative cover. Now, my question is, was this homaged or swiped? So if we go on our time machine and we go back to the year of 1938, so this is 53.
Okay.
We go back 15 years, if you don't mind going to the next slide. Spicy Mystery Stories, Volume 6, number 1. H.J. Ward, we talked a lot about him on that Bruce Timm show with Josh. Culture Publishing, 1937. So 16 years. Did this other unnamed artist steal this? Do you mind just going back and forth?
Oh, this is 1,000. This is like, like you deserve the electric chair for this because it's just so blatant.
Yeah, you can't even call this an homage because that wasn't really a thing at this era.
Yeah. Oh God! Like
do you think he even felt guilty about it? I mean, listen, artists to this day are ripping off other artists, but it was going on, 80 years ago. So,
I mean, even the sash on this guy.
No fucks given.
All right. I'm not mad at it. It was just, But I will say, props to this cover here, to Spicy Mystery Stories, because you got a nice lingerie cover.
Yeah, I mean, these any of the spicy pulps, we've talked about them at length, are super collectible, but even the fact that it was completely swiped doesn't make me want it any less, to be honest with you.
Oh,
it kind of adds to the notoriety of it a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. I want it even more now, just because. Do you think it was maybe the same artist?
I don't know. I was wondering that, but H.J. Ward, I mean, the dude was a fucking legend, and like this just seems like such a step down from his detail.
I'm surprised more horror comics and mystery comics didn't swipe pulps swipe earlier pulps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or maybe we're just missing a lot of things.
I mean, there was no internet, right? I mean, it must have been a hell of a lot harder to get caught. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah. I got to imagine there's probably more swipes um from pulps to comics. I got to imagine.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. I'm sure if we looked into it, we could find more.
Yeah. Just like how Matt Baker swiped that interior page from the Liberty magazine. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
There's got to be more. There's got to be.
We'll as we find them, we will break them on the show. So,
Mm-hmm.
but this son of a bitch didn't even he didn't even want to get credited for that comic because he stole the damn thing. So there's no.
That's Lenin's ghost. Great Lenin's ghost.
All right. I think this gets us out of the golden age into nope, I guess I spoke too soon. All right. Weird Tales number 168. A Margaret Brundage cover, Popular Publications 1938. I just wanted to say this. A 5.0 sold for $130. I mean, doesn't that seem like a steal to you for this book?
Absolutely. Oh gosh, yeah. For a 5.0?
Yeah.
I mean, hell yeah. Okay, so yeah, because this is pretty recent. I mean, like I said, yeah. What 425?
Yeah, this was a heritage, if I'm not mistaken, a heritage auction sale.
So this feels like this might have just slipped through the cracks. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of books coming up, but only 9 on the census, a high grade 7.5. Like in this picture, what we're looking at here is the picture of the 5.0. It was graded, but I just kind of zoomed in on it.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was a good looking book.
Yeah, this thing is gorgeous. I'm what was I gonna say? Oh, about so this is like 1938. It predates Superman and superhero comics, so you can say this is still like this is platinum age if this were a comic.
Yeah, this is I mean, I guess you can lump these pulps into the platinum age.
Yeah. So anything like pre Superman when it comes to pulps, I hold those in like a lot higher esteem.
Yeah. And some of these are stunning. I mean, this thing is just perfection.
She's trying to her boobs are just spilling over.
You got to keep them tucked in.
Mm-hmm.
Surprised this thing hasn't been swiped.
Right? Oh God, I'd swipe it. I would for sure swipe this.
What does that say? The Witch's Mask?
The Witch's Mark.
A mark. Okay.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful book. I mean, listen, there are deals to be had out there in awesome books. That's all we're saying with this show.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your eyes open. Things can be found.
Unfortunately, I never see weird tales like this.
No, unfortunately not. Okay. To the modern. Oh, not yet, man. I layered a lot of golden. All right, I just threw this on the show because there's something about ice skating books from the golden age that I just love. I don't know why it was such a thing, but they're all skating on thin ice. They're about to fall on their ass, whatever it is. It's just done over and over and over again, and they always catch my eye. So this is a Jerry Fasano cover, Famous Funnies from 1948. That year keeps coming up, it feels like, when we talk about on this show. A 6.0 sold for $136, which seems reasonable if you ask me. There's only 6 of these on the census, a high grade of 8.5. But I don't know why. These books just catch my eye, and it's just amazing, like how many comic books just featured like ice skating on them.
I noticed like all the ice skating covers that I've seen, they all are very leggy.
Yes, well,
short skirts.
That's probably part of it. Yes, that's probably part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got a pillow here. She's about to fall on her ass, but I forget. I don't know what those guys are saying back there, but
The pillow is standard equipment with Jenny's costume.
you can take that a couple different ways. Anyways, yeah, just a fun book. Not particularly noteworthy, but I saw it looking through something else, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm throwing my throw on the show." So. All right, now we're in the modern age. All right, so this book came out a couple years ago, and it's really gone full ghost status at this point. So, Invincible #2. This is the Rose Besch variant from San Diego. A 9.8 sold in the same year for $290. But I think there's only a couple of these on eBay right now, and I think they're all, the asking price is all more than that. 116 on the census, 91 and 9.8. A bunch of these were signed, but I think Rose Besch is, given like how that Asian, like Eastern style art is starting to catch on, I think she's just getting warmed up, in my opinion. I really like her stuff, and some of it is really phenomenal. But if you've never seen her sketches, she does these sketches in pink. If you don't mind going to the next one, Carter.
Yeah.
If you've never seen her sketches, they're unbelievable. They're truly unbelievable. And so she'll do these, but she asks $2,000 for these pinking sketches.
For that. Wow.
$2,000. And she's done a bunch of them. But, and I would love to get one, to be honest with you. And they're all like eye-catching, every one of them. Yeah, I think she's a super legit talent, and I think her star is probably going to continue to rise as the industry kind of evolves a little bit. Like all that Marvel rival stuff is all that, Eastern Asian style art vibe. Like she's set up to, I think, be continue to be a star, but she's hyper talented.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Alex, 2K is super expensive. No question about it, but damn, man, it would be cool to have something like that in the collection.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, when I think it's the inking sometimes that just like really takes away from the line art from some of these artists. I just think sometimes they get overdone. I love Jeff DeCall, and like his sketches pop more than some of his covers, because I just think that sometimes they get overproduced, and you lose a lot of the sharpness to it, for lack of a better term. But
I noticed there was this trend at one point in time where you would see where you would see kind of more sketch like art in the final product.
Yeah.
And they would just color over it.
I like that. I mean, I thought that was pretty. I don't mind that. I just feel like sometimes this stuff just gets over with the coloring and and it's all digitally enhanced, most of these in the modern day. Just something gets lost in them, I feel.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. Just throw up the next book is just a Peach Momoko book. I mean, she always gets compared to Rose Besch if they're both Asian or female. I don't know. They always just kind of get lumped together. I think Besch is better, much better in my opinion, but Momoko definitely has her own following and fan base.
Well, she was massive in what, 2020?
2020, 2021. I mean, she was huge. I think she just got overworked. I really do. I mean, I think she her stuff was in such high demand that they just worked her, and it just got so repetitive that people just got like sick of it. But she does have collectible books. This one isn't a bad one to get if you see it. Read Only Memories, number 2. This is what Mad K. No, it's IDW. IDW did this one, I think. A 9/8 sold for $150, which is respectable. Not a super high census count on this one. 43 9.8s, but a bit of a more obscure Momoko. If you see this in a variant box for a ratio, it's probably worth grabbing.
Oh, wow. Jeez. Okay, so this came out in 2019?
I was going to, yeah, I think it was just before she went like crazy, right?
Yeah. Okay, I can appreciate this. I never knew anything about this.
Yeah, just one to have on your radar if you're digging, because there is a market for it.
Right. I dig this.
That's all I wanted to say about that. Not much more, but
okay.
All right. All right. Peepland. We've talked about the Hardcase Titan books at length on the show. It's been a while. This is a Faye Dalton cover. She's pretty great. This is an NYCC exclusive, so a very tough book to get hands on. This girl's about to be taken in for obvious reasons. Only 2 of these on the census. Both are 9.8, and both are signature series, which is interesting. But this book, I don't think there's any of these on eBay at this point. This is a tough book to get hands on. Some of these Faye Daltons we've talked about have gone on for crazy prices from different series from Hardcase, but this is definitely one worth grabbing if you see it.
Why does this look like some like extra Skinamax? Because the detective doesn't look too bad. You know what I'm saying? It's like something's gonna jump off here.
You think detective's gonna take her in, and then one thing leads to another, or
take her in and dig her out? Yes, exactly. That's exactly what this looks like.
Yeah. This Peepland series actually has some quite provocative covers and stuff to it, but they're all probably worth grabbing, to be honest with you. The series in and of itself wasn't highly ordered, and then there's like B and C covers, which are definitely under ordered. So, but this NYCC is a ghost.
Oh wow! So this came out in 2016. Never seen anything like this. Never seen this before.
Yeah. Like I said, the series in and of itself is tough enough to get hands on, any of them. And that, which is not to say that they necessarily go for much, but there's some in there worth grabbing.
Like what's so Titan Comics, do they really?
I mean, this is basically the guys who are doing gun hunting now, right? I mean, this is
like outside of like these super hard to find variants. Do they really put out collectible stuff?
They still produce the actual paperbacks, like the crime paperbacks. So this is like a collaboration with the comics, but that Hardcase, like the Mickey Spillane, whatever, like all of those like old crime, paperbacks that you think about, that they put out a lot of those.
Yeah. Okay.
But Titan has some stuff, but this Hardcase line is all of this kind of noir vibe to it, and we've covered Normandy Gold. We've covered? There's one in particular we've covered quite a bit. I'm going blank on, that goes for big money. But there's a bunch of books from these series, and they keep in mind, like they usually had variants that were really under ordered. Those are all always worth grabbing if you find them for cheap.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm looking at some peeplans right now, just some cover A's, and they go for a little something. So okay. All right. Stand
Yeah.
corrected.
Something to keep an eye open for when you're digging.
Yes.
You may see people blowing these out in dollar boxes. Just probably worth picking up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
All right. This one goes out. This is a double shout out on this one. This one shout out to Dino from Flipside, if you're watching, buddy, and also Stein. This is a big Ben Stein book. The Supernatural's #1. This is a Greg Capullo cover B. This book is a ghost. Whenever it shows up, people know what they got. They ask big bucks for it. So this is the cover B by Capullo from Marvel Comics 1996. A 9.6 of this sold for $650 back in February of 2023. People ask that for raws for this book, like low grade raws. They'll ask that for this book. Only 14 of these on the census, 11 and 9.8.
I saw this up on a wall at a convention.
You remember what they're asking for it?
A lot. I think in like the $100 range plus.
That probably wouldn't have been a bad pick. Like 150, like something like that. 100. I mean,
that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Is that Spawn?
Yeah. No.
That's what that looks like.
Yeah. I mean, it has that vibe to it. I mean, obviously Capullo did so much horror for Spawn, like you're picking up on all of those vibes, but
yeah, and it looks like the Violator in the background too.
Yeah, it does. It does. But yeah, this is one to definitely keep an eye open for. I always felt like this is a book that like some dealer wouldn't have any idea what it is and just throw it in their dollar bins, but never found it.
Wasn't there some spec on Supernaturals 1, just the regular cover? Do you remember that?
I don't know. Was there like some animated? I don't know. I mean, the cover A in and of itself is probably a $15 or $20 book. I mean, it's worth grabbing if you find that cheap.
Yeah, because I was thinking maybe. Let me see. I thought it might have had something to do with Groot, or I totally forget.
Yeah, Tony, an antique mall find. Yeah, that sounds exactly right.
Supernaturals. And there was like a special or like a one shot or something.
Was it a character from this that was showing up or something? Or
I think maybe. But I do remember there was spec on this. Well, not necessarily on this, but on the just the regular
on the cover A.
Cover A, yeah. But I can't remember. It's been so long.
All right, great find if you ever come across it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm just throwing this out there as an early ratio variant for Marvel. So this thing gets listed as a 1 in 10. I just put a question mark there because I can't necessarily verify that, but it's referenced as a 1 in 10 enough through multiple sources that I think that may be the case. But Aranya, Heart of the Spider #1, ratios in 05, it just feels really, really early for ratios at that point. So this thing doesn't go for crazy money, but it's respectable at 9.8, 160. That was summer of last year, not even 100 on the census. So it also feels like it could be a ratio, just given how few of them there are. But yeah, I'd love to know what the first Marvel ratio was. So I was reading also. So you remember Ultimate Spider-Man, obviously, when that broke.
Yes.
And that had the white cover. Do you remember that? The all white.
Yep.
That was a 1 in 100.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So that was a 1 in 100, even though they weren't like marketing it that way at the time. So these limited books that Marvel were giving out were ratios going back. And so, yeah, I'd be curious to know what the first official Marvel ratio was. But this is Quesada. I mean, he was a monster at Marvel for so long.
Man,
when they got rid of him as editor, shit really started to go downhill, unfortunately.
right. Did he quit or they get rid of him?
No, I think they let him go.
Wow.
I think they let him go.
Yeah, this was.
I remember hearing about it. I'm like, are you shitting me?
Because I remember this was like a really fun time at Marvel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I do have this book. I had high hopes for this because when they were announcing that Aranya would be in the movie, you know what I'm saying? This book actually hit, and it was going for a little something. And then afterwards, when Madam Web came out, and we were at the very least had an idea what this movie was going to be. It just kind of
that movie was brutal. I watched it. I mean, it was really. I mean, I got through it, but yeah. I think the unfortunate thing with Aranya was let's set the movie aside. She was always a cool character, but you just had so many freaking spider people pop up. There's just too many. Like, it's hard to carve out like an identity for yourself within all of the spider clan. So I think she just kind of got lost in the shuffle.
I agree, yeah. But this is a great cover, though.
Yeah, no, and the fact that it's an early ratio, just I got one, just makes me want to kind of hang on to it, maybe.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, I wouldn't let mine go.
Alrighty. All right, so this is an interesting one. 2016 wasn't that long ago, but it's starting to feel like a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, they were putting out reprints of Batman Adventures 12 back then. They did a bunch recently. I'd kind of forgotten about these, kind of. I remember like Bruce Timm did a cover that was kind of a big deal, like a recreation of the OG. But this one was from Dallas Comic-Con, and I don't know if it's calling it an error, but basically you see the DC logo up there.
Yes.
In the upper left-hand corner. That wasn't supposed to be the logo. There's two versions of it. So this version that we're looking at is tougher to get. $170 for a 9.8 back in 2021. I'm surprised one hasn't sold. This is John Boy Myers. It looks like Campbell at first glance. You might think that, but or John Royal or any of those guys. But the more widely produced one is the next one, and it's the newer DC logo. You can see it up there, and there's far more of these on the census. So I'm not exactly sure what happened. Doesn't go for as much. Looks virtually identical, but there was just that difference in the production of those logos. There were fewer of the DC in the circle.
When did they switch over to? Okay, so they had the bullet logo, up in in the 2000s, and then they switched to the little 3D-ish logo DC.
Yeah, I think this one was right around this time, maybe like 14, 15. It's right around this time where they switched, which I thought was stupid. And then this logo never did anything for me. But hey, Yee is in the house. What's up, brother?
Hey, now.
How's Chicago?
Where's he at? Hey. You've got both. Damn. Okay.
So you said, yeah, it was for Rebirth that they switched for this logo. All right, cool.
Oh yeah. When the hell was Rebirth? I totally forget.
Was it this year? The year that this book came out?
I can't. Everything is just starting to like mash together.
Yeah, it was 2016.
Wow, I didn't know it was that long ago.
Yeah.
Wow, they kept that logo going for that long.
Yeah, so that was probably part of the confusion, I think, maybe of this book. But anyways, yeah, just I don't know if you want to call it an error or a subtle variant or whatever it is, but yeah, I mean, I hadn't thought about this, this Batman Adventures reprint, and then uh yeah, the whole logo issue there. So
I remember when they switched to this logo, I'm like, are they joking?
I remember seeing like an animated thing about it. I'm like, this is, yeah, I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah, they didn't keep this one too long.
No, not at all. All right. This is a cool book to find. Magdalena #2 from 2000. You know, some of these 90s like collectible books, I think, have a long runway because it's super nice. When I say 90s, it's like 90s era. I know this was in 2000, but like it was that whole, bad girl vibe and like,
Yes.
the top cow and the image and all that stuff. I just feel like there are some really limited books from that era that don't go for a lot right now. It seems like low hanging fruit. This is one of them. Yeah, this is Brian Ching did the cover of this. So the cover we're looking at actually isn't the book, just the because it's so hard to find a good picture of it. But the Magdalena in the top is in red foil. Is the only difference. So this is the cover A. But the book we're actually talking about is the red ruby foil, which is in the trade dress, is done in foil and was limited to 500. And a 9/8 of this sold way back in 2018 for $100. And there's only 8 on the census, 6 and 9.8. And yeah, I just think as time goes on, people are probably going to, it's kind of fun to collect some of these rarer versions of these books from this era. Particularly like Brian Ching, he wasn't, I would consider, a big artist from this era, but when you get into the Silvestris and the Turners and a lot of these guys, even some of those are even probably be more sought after. But for the right price, to find this one limited to 500 would be a great book to have, in my opinion.
This guy did his best Jim Lee impersonation.
They were all kind of riffing on each other back then, right?
Yeah. Yeah, everybody looked like everybody else.
Yeah, I mean that was just the art style.
Yeah.
That was just the art style at the time. But I think some people, I think a lot of us are drawn back to it. You just think back to this time in comics. It was fucking wild, no holds barred. They just fucking let it go. So nothing wrong with that. Yeah, Jim Lee and Gary Frank.
Yeah,
for sure.
Ready to move on?
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
All right. So I just came across this book. This book doesn't necessarily go for anything, but I love Chris Bachalo. And this is a cover B. This book probably goes for 15 or 20 bucks. So if you can find it in the dollar bins, it's probably worth grabbing. I loved his art when he broke on the scene. Has nothing to do that he drew the first picture of Gwenpool. It doesn't hurt though. But I've just loved his style. And then as I was even thinking about Rose Besch earlier in the show, like they're obviously very different artists, but there's a kind of a similar vibe to their stuff a little bit in some ways. But yeah, this book doesn't necessarily go for anything. It is a cover B. And yeah, I don't know. I just threw it up here because I saw it. I'm like, God, this is a cool book. A lot of people love him. Like every time he comes up, people seem to really respond to his art. I just remember, what did he break that really caught? I don't know if it was Generation X It was one of the X. I know he did Generation X, but it was one of the X titles where he stepped on, and I'm like,
He did Uncanny X-Men.
yeah, he did a good run on it. Maybe that was first. But I just remember seeing it, and it just felt so different at the time. It really, really resonated with me.
He's like his art reminds me of like a mix of like extreme anime and Humberto Ramos. That's what it reminds me
Yeah,
of.
he's got a Ramos is another one that I really like. And I know that he takes a lot of stick sometimes, but yeah. Hey Tony, send me a picture of that. I don't think I've ever seen that. I'd love to see that remark. That sounds awesome. I'd like to see it, man. Just hit me up on in the chat. All right, what do we got next? All right, I've got a love-hate relationship with these Mile High books, but I hate the beaver on there. I kind of hate them as a seller in general, and that's probably because they banned me years ago. But I years ago. But I will admit that some of these, for whatever reason, their variants can be very hard to find. So this is the first full appearance of Angela, Guardians of the Galaxy #5. This is a Terry and Rachel Dodson variant. 9/6 of this sold for the whopping price of $16 back in 2015. No graded sales since. 6 on the census. 3 and 9.8. And yeah, people love Angela. People love the Dodsons. I mean, this is a cool book, as much as it pains me to say it.
Well, like if that logo were gone, I'm thinking
It's so it can be the case on so many of them. There's a couple of really good ones that this logo just destroys.
yes.
It reminds me of the gopher from Caddyshack.
Right.
Bill Murray just trying to blow the damn thing up. Yeah. Have you ever seen this thing like in the wild?
Oh, absolutely not.
There was a bunch of store exclusives for this one, but I've never seen this one.
Like if My Hog does a variant now, they put the logo on the back anymore, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, although has Mile High done a ratio in like years?
Yeah, I could have swore they have, but I can't remember which one.
Maybe Angela will get her day.
Yeah, we had high hopes for Angela. Even like we thought she would show up in Thor, like the Thor movie.
Yeah, there was definitely buzz around her making a cameo in Thor 3. But Taika Waititi fucked that one up. Anyways, all right. Is that it? Is that the show?
Nope.
No, it is not. All right. I wish.
Darn it! Never seen this.
I wish Rob or Josh were here because they'd have more to say about this. But this is Dolman #35. It's a Spanish comic, and this is an Adam Hughes cover. I think this is a unique one. I don't recall this being on the cover of anything else. Do you, Carter? But some of these books go for big bucks. Like the same series, there is a cover of Death from Sandman, and that goes for big bucks. But I think this is well done. This is certainly early Adam Hughes, but I like the vibe of this one. The cape, just the era of Adam Hughes. This is a good one for the collection.
Damn it. Okay, so Dahlman, it's the same series that has the Death cover.
Yes.
Is she on the cover, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She's lying on her stomach with like her feet up and her hands under her chin.
Yeah. So it makes you wonder what else is what other covers there are out there
Yeah,
at
there's
the
a few
moment.
others. There's definitely a few others that Hughes have done for Wonder Woman. Although I think some of the other ones that I saw, it was reused art from other covers, perhaps. That this could have been interior art from something. But yeah, this is a good one to have if you can find it.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. And that is the show for tonight. Big thanks to Carter for running the show. Wouldn't have happened without him. And big thanks to everybody who tuned in. We wouldn't be doing the show if nobody tuned in. So thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you for the comments. Leave comments on this show as well. So what we did was last show, Aaron Yee, if you're still in the chat, Aaron, he said he was going to find a book at C2E2 and give it away for anybody who left comments in the chat for last show. Let's extend it to this one as well. So just leave us a comment on the rewind, and you'll be entered for that for that giveaway. The book is a complete mystery at this point. So yes, when I say the chat, I mean on the rewind or on the main video, and you'll be entered. And I know Aaron's going to find something sweet. He's got a great eye for that stuff, and we will see. We'll see what it is. He will post it. He will post it on IG when he finds it. But yeah, he's got a busy couple days ahead of him. Big thanks to Cover Price and Bird City as well. I assume everybody here knows them at this point, but if you don't, check them out. Cover Price, great database. Bird City, great retailer. And I think that's all we got. We got Sunday. We got
Hot Book Alert live Sundays at 9 Eastern. Everybody.
Yeah, don't miss it. It's if you like the vibe here with just me and Carter tonight. It's usually me, Carter, and Dino on that show talking about hot sales. It's a good time, and yeah, check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. Beyond that, I'm gonna go get some sleep, man. I am past my bedtime,
bro. I can't wait to go to sleep. I'm looking forward to it. Masters tournament this weekend. Oh yeah, that's right. All right, everybody. The coolest hour in comics is on its way out the door. So everybody, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you later.
Peace out.